I never had the go-ahead to terminate.
Let me show you how.
Jet Li is a famous film actor, a great athlete, and the youngest wushu champion in the world. The fighter has many techniques in his arsenal, but his main weapon is wisdom. Despite worldwide fame, Jet Li remains a modest and reserved person. We will tell you about the life of Jet Li in this video. How Jet Li lives and how much he earns. Jet Li, whose real name is Li Lianji, was born in the capital of China, Beijing, on April 26, 1963, and was the fifth and youngest child in the family. When the boy was 2 years old, his father died, and the mother had to raise her children alone. As a child, Li had a calm personality and exemplary behavior. Mom didn't allow her youngest son to swim, ride a bike, or anything that could in theory cause injury, and Li obeyed and didn't even try to lie to her. The future actor went to school at the age of 8 and was a year older than his classmates. The teachers loved the boy because he was honest and humble. He was even allowed to help lead daily physical exercises. Little Lianji stood in front of all the school children and counted out the rhythm with a serious look. In the summer, after finishing the first grade, the local authorities sent him along with all his classmates to the Beijing sports camp, where Li was assigned to join a wushu group. As a hardworking student, he diligently followed the instructions of the coach, which amazed him. Li was the only one of his peers to whom the coach suggested continuing training after the end of the summer vacation. So the boy began to practice daily not only the physical technique of wushu, but also the spiritual practices of this martial art. The coach had high hopes for his student and even helped the poor family with food so that Li's young body would develop fully. When he was 9 years old, Lianji was preparing for his first competition outside of Beijing and looked forward to traveling by train, but his mother was terrified that her child would be so far from home. Li even almost stayed, but it was already impossible to refuse to participate. At the performance, the boy was recognized as the best, and after returning home, he was released from classes in a regular school and transferred to a sports school. In those days, electricity was often cut off in Beijing, but this didn't interfere with the coach's training. During one of these dark training sessions, Li injured his foot but was afraid to say anything about it. With a swollen foot, he trained with everyone for 2 days until it turned out that it was a fracture. But even then, the boy was not released from classes. While the bone was healing, the boy practiced punching. In 1974, at the age of 11, Li went to the United States with the Chinese national team. There, the young athlete performed brilliantly and was noticed by US President Richard Nixon. Nixon was so inspired by Li's combat training, he jokingly invited him to become his bodyguard when Jet grew up. But he replied enchantingly, "I don't want to protect a particular person. I will protect millions of my compatriots." But despite the meeting with the President of the United States, Li still considers the main achievement of that momentous trip to be a change in his outlook and his attitude towards the American people. The boy realized that ordinary people in the United States are friendly and don't wish evil to the people of China. In the United States, Li didn't forget about his mother. He bought her a Swiss watch with the pocket money he received there. Returning to his homeland, the young athlete continued to participate in sports competitions and conquer new heights. Moreover, the 12-year-old boy often had to compete with athletes much older than him, in their 20s or even 30s. Over the next 4 years, Li, along with other Chinese athletes, traveled half the world demonstrating wushu techniques. Li strove to achieve the popularization of wushu in all countries, and he succeeded. Between 1975 and 1979, he became the Chinese wushu champion 5 times. The boy's athletic success contributed to the disclosure of his acting talent. Once at a competition, the athlete was noticed by director Zhang Xinyan. He got the idea to make another Bruce Lee out of the fighter, and what's remarkable, it was Bruce Lee who was Li Lianji's idol as a child. The boy's debut film was The Shaolin Temple, which tells the story of an orphan boy who was brought up in a monastery by Shaolin monks. The film was released in 1982 and was a resounding success. The directors didn't think twice before filming the sequel to the story in 1984, Shaolin Temple 2, Kids from Shaolin. And the final third part, Shaolin Temple 3, North and South Shaolin, appeared on the big screen in 1985. Actually, Li received the nickname Jet after filming in the Shaolin trilogy. During the filming of the movies about Shaolin, the novice actor had a conflict with the director. after which Jet decided to make his own movies and star in them. But never having had a defeat before, Jet Li faced some setbacks. His first and last work as a director was Born to Defense, which was released in 1986 and failed miserably at the box office. In addition, the actor suffered a back injury during filming. Also, the attempt to obtain American citizenship was unsuccessful. The actor began to pay more attention to his personal life and having a family. In 1987, Jet married Huang Qian, an athlete who was a member of the Beijing Wushu team and also co-starred with him in Kids from Shaolin. In marriage, they had 2 daughters, Si and Taimi, but the couple divorced 3 years later. In 1989, the action movie Dragon Fight was released, and in 1991, the world saw another amazing film with Jet Li, Once Upon a Time in China, which was followed by 2 sequels released in the next 2 years. Speaking about the early films with Jet Li, we should mention such movies as The Master, Swordsman 2, The Legend 2, Last Hero in China, Kung Fu Cult Master, The New Legend of Shaolin, My Father is a Hero, Dr. Y in the Scripture with No Words, Black Mask, Once Upon a Time in China and America, Hitman, as well as Tai Chi Master and the Bodyguard from Beijing. The action movie Fist of Legend, which appeared on the big screen in 1994, can be called a remake of Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury.
中國人唔可以入賭場，出去！呢度係中國地方，中國人去邊都得。什麼？
And the 1995 picture Meltdown was remembered by the audience for its plot. The director of the film quarreled with the famous Jackie Chan and decided to make a parody of him, openly making fun of the actor and his family in the movie. In 1998, conquering audiences in Asia, Europe, and America, Jet Li made his Hollywood debut in the blockbuster Lethal Weapon 4.
哥，很久没见了。
快又是我们的天下。
His role was first offered to Jackie Chan, but he refused because he didn't want to play a negative character. As for Jet, this was his first role as a villain. In 1999, Li got married for the second time. He chose Hong Kong actress Nina Li Chi, who is 2 years older than her husband. They met each other back in 1989 when they co-starred in the movie Dragon Fight. The actor was still married then. Li and Nina have been dating for a long time and legalized the relationship only after 10 years. Jet Li is sure that Nina is his soulmate and a person who understands him like no other. The couple has 2 daughters, Jane and Jada. 2 years after his brilliant work in Lethal Weapon 4, the actor starred in the dramatic action movie Romeo Must Die.
These guys find you up here, you're gonna have some serious problems, so I suggest you go out the window.
No, I like it this way.
Alright, it's your funeral.
The film paid off at the box office and Li received a $2.4 million royalty. Another important feature of Jet is his endless love and concern for his family. In order to be with his wife in the last months of pregnancy, he turned down the role in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. In addition to this film, the actor also refused to star in The Matrix. Li said that the cause was a fight over copyright. He didn't want the rights to the film to be completely transferred to the creators of the picture so that they could own them as intellectual property. While acting in The One in 2001, the actor managed to earn $7.5 million, even though the main role in the movie was originally supposed to be played by Dwayne Johnson.
I am Eula. I'm nobody's bitch. You are mine.
In this film, Jet worked with Jason Statham for the first time. In the same year, the actor played a role in the film Kiss of the Dragon, earning $5 million.
What did you do to me?
I put a needle in your neck.
That's it?
In a certain point. Very forbidden. It's called the Kiss of the Dragon.
An interesting fact from this film is that the tunnel in which Jet Li's character is overtaken by the French police is the same tunnel in which Princess Diana died in 1997. In one of the scenes, Jet's character attacks Pimp Lupo, played by Max Ryan. It was assumed that the dialogue between the actors would be filmed separately from the fight. But when they finished exchanging lines, the director for some reason didn't say cut, and Li made a punch. This take was included in the final version of the movie, along with Ryan's completely genuine surprise. This incident came in handy because the filmmakers had to adjust the fights to the tastes of the audience, who wanted to see more realistic scenes. The fight scene between the characters of Jet Li and Cyril Raffaelli even had to be slowed down as the actors were moving too fast. To star in the 2002 film Hero, Jet Li agreed to a fee reduction to $11 million. Jackie Chan was offered to star in the role of the Emperor, but he refused. It was the most expensive Chinese movie by the time of its release. Another action movie with Li in the lead role, Cradle to the Grave, was released in 2003. In 2004, information appeared in the media about the death of the great actor and athlete. As it turned out, he was on vacation with his family in the Maldives during the tsunami. Fortunately, the information about his death turned out to be only a rumor. Jet survived, only injured his leg, saving his daughter. After this incident, the actor spends most of his time with his wife and children. In 2005, Luc Besson wrote the script for Danny the Dog specifically for Jet Li.
Give me fucking asshole!
The movie features not only the longest-running fight scene with Li in his career, but also the most violent one. The next film starring the actor was Fearless.
没事吧？
没事儿。
这样没事。
别跑！
Its creators wanted to name the picture The Legend of the Fighter, but then it turned out that such a film already existed. For ethical reasons, Li refused to perform some of the techniques planned by the fight director. Elements such as a slap in the face or a blow with the back of the head seemed to the actor too incorrect in relation to Europeans and Americans. In addition to hand-to-hand fights, the action movie also features a scene of a battle with melee weapons. Anthony DeLongis and Jet Li broke at least 6 swords during the filming. At that time, Jet was engaged in charitable activities and has been an ambassador for the Red Cross since 2006. The athlete is a follower of Tibetan Buddhism. He even met personally with the Dalai Lama. He is attracted to the philosophy of Wushu, but according to Li, this kind of martial arts used for self-defense doesn't stand up to criticism. He strives to help young Chinese people understand what life is and shares his knowledge of Buddhism. It should be noted that not all of Jet Li's films were successful. One of the unsuccessful works was the movie War, filmed in 2007. The actor has stated in several interviews that he is not happy with either this film or its production. He went so far as to say that the film sucked and didn't trust the director Philip Atwell. Even halfway through filming, he knew he would get mediocre ratings instead of profits. In late 2007, Li returned to his homeland and starred in the Sino-Hong Kong film The Warlords. The main focus of the film was not on the martial arts but on the dramatic component. For this work, Jet received a Hong Kong Film Award nomination for Best Actor. The actor's fee for this film was $13 million. In the spring of 2007, Li founded his own nonprofit foundation, One Foundation, which aims to combat the consequences of natural disasters, including psychological trauma. In 2008, Li made his first screen appearance alongside martial arts veteran Jackie Chan in Rob Minkoff's action-adventure The Forbidden Kingdom.
You punch him again. Snake!
It's not right for snake. Perhaps eagle.
Soon Jet starred as the main villain in the fantasy action movie The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor with Maria Bello and Brendan Fraser. After a long period of work in the United States, the actor was finally able to obtain American citizenship, but he renounced it in 2009 and also renounced Chinese citizenship in favor of Singapore citizenship. Jet chose this country because of the quality education system his younger daughters needed. Also in the same year, Li starred in the military drama The Founding of a Republic and launched his own fitness program called Wuji, which consists of elements of Wushu, yoga, and Pilates. Adidas soon launched the clothing line for this program emblazoned with the initials JL. Jet's return to the film industry after a year-long hiatus took place on the set of the action movie The Expendables.
When I get hurt, the only is bigger. Because I'm smaller. When I travel, I need to go farther.
I know, because you're smaller, right?
Yes.
Which brought together such stars as Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, Dolph Lundgren, and Mickey Rourke. In 2012-2014, Li played the same role in the sequels The Expendables 2 and The Expendables 3. In 2010, Jet Li became the first Asian face of the luxury Swiss watch company Hublot. In 2011, Jet created the Taji Zen lifestyle company with the Chinese entrepreneur Jack Ma, founder of the Alibaba Group. The company's main mission is health and happiness for all through the art of Tai Chi. In the following years, the following movies starring Jet Li were released: the drama Ocean Heaven, Flying Swords of Dragon Gate, The Sorcerer and the White Snake, Badges of Fury, League of Gods, and Gangshou Dao. The latest and we hope not the last movie that Jet Li starred in was Mulan, released in 2020, in which he played the role of the Emperor.
Hua Mulan, the people owe you a debt of thanks. I owe you my life.
Since 2016, the actor has been actively maintaining his personal page on Instagram, publishing his photos. A photo of actor Jet Li got on social media in which he looked so bad that fans were seriously worried. The actor admitted that he's been suffering from hyperthyroidism since 2010, but he assures everyone that everything is fine with him. Despite his deteriorating health, the actor has no plans to leave the film industry and continues to act in various projects. "If I leave now, I will end up in a wheelchair later," he commented on his decision. "But if I don't leave, I will end up in a wheelchair, but it will be encrusted with diamonds." In his spare time, Jet plays badminton and ping pong, rides a bicycle, reads, and meditates. Martial arts superstar Jet Li turned 57 on April 26, 2020. On his birthday, he shared the best gift for his fans: family photos. In 2020, the actor's net worth was $250 million. His income from filming is the highest among Chinese movie stars. Jet's wife Nina's hometown of Shanghai is home to the actor's huge mansion worth 200 million won, about $30 million. The actor bought it in 2008, according to rumors, as a dowry for one of his daughters, but never lived in it. Since then, the house has fallen into disrepair and even was converted into a hostel for security guards. In Singapore, in Bukit Timah, the actor owns an elite bungalow for 20 million Singapore dollars, or 15 million US dollars. It is also known that the actor owns real estate in Los Angeles and lives there when he comes to the United States. Jet Li is not a big car enthusiast. He has a BMW 745 Li and a Spyker C8 Spider. Even though the actor lives in Singapore, having renounced his Chinese citizenship, he remains the favorite actor of his compatriots. What made Jet Li so successful? What do you think? Antonio Banderas, where is the main macho man of Hollywood now? The real name of the actor is Jose Antonio Dominguez Bandera. He was born on August 10, 1960, in the city of Malaga, located in the south of Spain. His father, Jose Dominguez Prieto, was an officer in the Spanish Civil Guard, and his mother, Ana Bandera Gallego, worked as a school teacher. The actor has a younger brother, Francisco Javier. Young Antonio didn't show much interest in studying. He was fond of soccer and planned to become a professional athlete. However, due to a broken leg, the young man had to give up his dream. At the age of 14, Antonio and his friends attended a theatrical production of Hair, the story of lovers, which unfolds during the Vietnam War and the active development of the hippie movement, struck Antonio to the very heart. He decided to try acting on the stage. Antonio began his studies and became a member of the City Theater Group. It should be noted that the actor used the stage name Antonio Abascal at first, and then he took his mother's surname as a stage name, adding the letter S at the end. Antonio showed remarkable zeal in acting, but almost no one actually took his passion seriously. When the future actor was 16 years old, he entered the School of Dramatic Art in Malaga and joined one of the city's theater groups. After graduating from the school, Antonio went to Madrid to develop as an actor. There, the young man worked as a waiter, a loader, and even as a model until he achieved inclusion in the troupe of the National Theater. During the same period, Antonio took part in the cultural movement La Movida Madrilena, which translates as the Madrid Movement. He took part in its experimental productions and performances. Banderas was noticed by one of the brightest representatives of this movement, Pedro Almodovar, who invited him to star in his movie Labyrinth of Passion. The young actor got the role of the Islamic radical who was in love with a homosexual Muslim prince. By the way, Antonio's first fee was about 100,000 pesetas. Cooperation with the director gave an impetus to the development of Banderas' career. He began to actively appear in a large number of Spanish movies. In 1985, another impetus to Banderas' career was given by Almodovar's picture Matador. He plays a young, simple-minded boy who takes responsibility for the murders committed by his mentor. The director doesn't personally consider this movie particularly successful. He was keener on working on the film Law of Desire, in which Banderas played one of the key roles. The collaboration between the actor and the director continued on the set of the movie, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. Antonio continued to work with other directors, not only with Almodovar. During this period, many films were released with his participation. The charming young actor was very popular among women. In 1987, he married the Spanish actress Ana Lessa, whom he met in a restaurant near the theater. Banderas fell deeply in love and the couple soon got married. By the way, Pedro Almodovar was the best man at the wedding. Soon, Ana gave up her career and devoted herself to her husband. She picked his wardrobe, made the casting schedule, and monitored his diet. Unfortunately, the relationship between Antonio and Pedro Almodovar was deteriorating for a long 19 years. The reason for this was the actor's refusal to participate in the filming of Kika. Banderas at this time took aim at Hollywood. His first American movie was the musical drama The Mambo Kings, where he played one of the main roles. For the sake of this picture, the actor put a lot of effort into practicing pronunciation with an English tutor. He spent 6 months filming in the US and fell in love with this country. All of Banderas' successes at home remained at home. Antonio had to conquer the audience anew. Even though the Kings of Mambo didn't quite meet the expectations of the producers, the Spanish macho man was still noticed. In 1993, Antonio appeared in the melodrama The House of Spirits and in the drama Philadelphia with Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington.
What's the matter with you tonight?
Close the logbook.
You just...
Eh?
This picture was highly acclaimed by the critics and viewers, and for Banderas, it became a lucky ticket to Hollywood. In 1994, Banderas starred in the drama Of Love and Shadows and played the minor role of the vampire named Armin in the movie Interview with the Vampire.
Do you know how few vampires have the stamina for immortality?
1995 was a very productive year for the actor. More and more pictures with the actor were playing in the theaters. Together with Sylvester Stallone, he starred in the crime thriller Assassins, then appeared in the comedy 4 Rooms, and played the main roles in the drama Miami Rhapsody and the thriller Never Talk to Strangers. Robert Rodriguez's Western Desperado attracted attention from critics and the audience.
I'm looking for a man who calls himself Burcho. That's all. But you had to do it the hard way.
The role is considered one of the best works by Banderas in the 90s, and The Kiss by Banderas and his co-star Salma Hayek was nominated for the MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss. By the way, the whole film crew gathered at the shooting of the bedroom scene with the main characters, but eventually only the director and script supervisor could stay in the room. It should be noted that Banderas also showed himself as a musician on the set of the picture. The actor played the guitar in all the scenes where this was required of his character. But the next picture, the comedy Too Much, did not receive such rave reviews, but became special for the actor. On the set, he met Melanie Griffith. They were both married. Melanie was married to Don Johnson, and Antonio was still married to Anna, although by that time, their relationship had cooled down somewhat. He was actively filming in the United States, and his wife preferred to live in Spain. After working together, the actors sometimes met with each other, and Banderas realized that he had fallen in love. He appeared at a social event together with Melanie. When Anna found out about this, she flew to the United States and found Antonio together with Melanie. They failed to improve the relationship, so the divorce proceedings began. But Anna didn't want to divorce her husband. However, when Antonio and Melanie arrived at the actor's homeland, they were received coldly not only by Banderas' ex-wife and parents, but also by the local media, which presented Melanie as a homewrecker. One way or another, on May 14, 1996 in London, Antonio married Melody, And a little later, in September of the same year, their daughter Stella del Carmen Banderas Griffiths was born. By the way, Antonio managed to improve relations with Melanie's daughter from her previous marriage, Dakota Johnson. The married couple had long been considered exemplary. For the sake of her husband, the actress overcame alcohol and drug addiction, and Banderas supported his woman in all endeavors. He tried to dissuade her from plastic surgery and seemed to be an exemplary family man. By the way, it is believed that the actor fell in love with Melanie 6 years before he had met her. It was when he saw her in the movie Something Wild. In 1996, the musical Evita was released, where Banderas worked with Madonna. Playing the lead male role in the movie brought Antonio a Golden Globe nomination and $4 million in royalties. By the way, as the singer admitted, she had long been very interested in Antonio. Once Madonna invited him to the premiere of a film in which she appeared, but he brought his wife there. In 1998, the movie The Mask of Zorro was released, which received high reviews from both critics and viewers. To play the role of Alejandro, Antonio spent 4 months training with the Spanish Olympic fencing team, and according to the coach, became a skilled fencer. For this role, the actor received the Audience Award from the European Film Academy and was nominated for a Golden Globe. Antonio Banderas became one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. Besides acting, he also tried his hand at directing. In 1999, his picture Crazy in Alabama was released, starring his wife Melanie Griffith. The movie was not particularly successful, but it became an important part of the actor's career. In the same year, the action-adventure movie The 13th Warrior was released, in which Antonio played the main role.
You could have killed him at will.
Yes?
Why the deception?
Deception is the point. Any fool can calculate strength.
In the same year, together with Woody Harrelson, the actor starred in the sports drama Play It to the Bone and also appeared in the comedy The White River Kid. As his popularity grew, his fees also grew. So for the participation in the movie The Body in 2000, Banderas received $12 million. The following year, Antonio became Angelina Jolie's partner on the set of Original Sin.
Liar! Sin! Yes! Yes! Don't you see? Yes! Don't you see? Don't you see I cannot breathe without you?
The sensual movie confirmed the title of sex symbols attributed to both actors, and even Jolie had to refute the information about the affair with the Spanish macho man. In the same year, Banderas accepted the invitation from Robert Rodriguez to become a part of the adventure comedy action movie Spy Kids. And later, 2 more parts of this picture were released. In 2002, Antonio worked with Salma Hayek again on the set of Frida, and also plays the main role in the Franco-Swiss movie Femme Fatale. The movie of the same year, Ballistic: X for Sever, was not a very successful experience. The picture received low ratings. In 2003, a couple of movies with the participation of the Spanish macho man were released. At the end of the summer, the sequel to Desperado, the musician's story, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, premiered, and in the fall, the drama Imagining Argentina was released. On TV, Banderas played the role of the revolutionary Pancho Villa in the HBO film of the same name. By the way, he received the Emmy and Golden Globe nominations for this role. In 2004, Antonio Banderas voiced Puss in Boots in the animated film Shrek 2. The audience extremely loved the charming and hot-tempered Puss in Boots, who became an integral part of subsequent films about Shrek, both full-length and short. By the way, with his sword, Puss in Boots carves the letter P on a tree with 3 swings, which is clearly a reference to Zorro. Interestingly, a year after the release of the cartoon, Antonio reappears on the screen in the image of Zorro in the movie The Legend of Zorro.
Look, I know what you're thinking, but Elena, listen. No, here is me, here is quitting. We're this far apart.
It should be noted that the hot Spanish macho man is not only a wonderful actor, but also a musician. He performs his own vocals in films if they are required. For instance, the song from the movie Desperado became a popular hit.
Soy un hombre muy honrado que me gusta lo mejor.
In 2005, a star was unveiled in honor of Antonio Banderas on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. However, what goes up must come down. Antonio appeared less and less in Class A films, and in the following years, he appeared less frequently on the screen. In 2006, he starred in the drama Take the Lead. The following year, the actor co-stars with Jennifer Lopez in the crime thriller Border Town, and also takes part in the filming of the comedy My Mom's New Boyfriend. In 2008, Banderas played the role of Ralph in the dramatic thriller The Other Man, and together with Morgan Freeman, starred in the crime thriller Thick as Thieves.
Don't even think about it.
Think about what?
Going anywhere near her. I'll rip your heart out, I mean it.
It looks like it's your heart she's not so fond of.
In 2009, the actor underwent surgery for a benign tumor in his back and played in several more movies in the next year. In 2011, a full-length animated picture about Puss in Boots, voiced by the legendary Macho Man, was released, as well as the adventure drama Black Gold. In the same year, the premiere of the film The Skin I Live In took place. The movie became a kind of reunion of the legendary creative duo of Antonio Banderas and Pedro Almodovar. The psychological thriller turned out to be a masterpiece and has received many awards. In 2012, the actor starred in the action movie Haywire and the fantastic comedy Ruby Sparks. In 2013, Banderas once again engaged in voice acting, this time for the cartoon Justin and the Knights of Valor. He also collaborated again with Rodriguez on the set of Machete Kills, and with Almodovar in the comedy I'm So Excited. In 2014, it became public that the wife of the actor, Melanie Griffith, had filed for divorce. The reason she pointed out was that her husband cheated on her with actress Natalie Byrne. They worked together on the set of Expendables 3, but the girl stated that there were no reasons for such accusations, except for Melanie's jealousy. The divorce was quite quick and scandalous. The spouses were actively dividing property. They sold the mansion in Los Angeles for $16 million and divided the profits, and also recalculated the income from projects that were implemented during their life together. As a result, Melanie got a house in Aspen and Picasso's painting The Artist and His Model, and Banderas got a pencil drawing by the same artist along with a pencil sketch by Diego Rivera. In addition, the actor agreed to pay Griffith alimony of $780,000 a year. After the divorce, the actor was credited with a variety of relationships, including with Sharon Stone. Now his girlfriend is the Dutch financier Nicole Kempel, who brought regularity and order to Antonio's life. In subsequent years, Antonio was working in a lot of movies. He starred in the action movie Automata and the biographical drama The 33. He also appeared in the drama Knight of Cups, in the Spanish drama Altamira, in the thriller Black Butterfly, and the action movie Security. In 2015, Banderas became interested in fashion and entered the famous British college Central St. Martin's. According to the actor, becoming a designer was his lifelong dream. By the way, in 2016, he collaborated with Selected. The actor was the designer of a portfolio for men. Also in 2017, the films Bullethead, Acts of Vengeance, and the TV show Genius, which tells the story of the legendary Pablo Picasso, were released. For this role, Antonio was nominated for an Emmy and Golden Globe. Shortly before the filming of the show began, the actor had a heart attack. Everything ended well, but Antonio had to seriously revise his lifestyle. He gave up bad habits, began to exercise more often, and monitored his health. In 2018, Antonio starred in the drama Life Itself, and the next year he appeared in the movie Laundromat. He also collaborated with Pedro Almodovar on the set of Pain and Glory, where the actor played the main role. By the way, this work brought Banderas the long-awaited first nomination for the Oscar, as well as the Golden Globe nomination. In 2020, the actor took part in the filming of Doolittle.
I never understood what Lily saw in you. A common complaint the world over for fathers of beloved daughters. But in this instance, I think we can all agree it is particularly accurate.
Now the actor continues to actively play roles in movies. The filming of the comedy drama Official Competition has already been completed. The main roles in the movie are played by Antonio Banderas and Penelope Cruz. For the summer of 2021, the premiere of the comedy action movie with the star cast Hitman's Wife Bodyguard is scheduled. Uncharted, starring Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg and Antonio Banderas, is due out in February 2022, and in the fall of the same year, we will see the new animated picture about the adventures of the charming Puss in Boots. Filmmakers also announced the biographical drama Dali and the fantastic thriller Solos. In both movies, the actor is assigned the main role. Now the fortune of Antonio Banderas is $50 million. In addition to movies, Banderas has repeatedly been an ambassador of world brands, including Orbit. The audience liked the funny commercial in which the actor conducts a dialogue with a donut. He also starred in a commercial for Police Eyewear. Also, Antonio Banderas and Olga Kurilenko became ambassadors of the advertising campaign for the new paired fragrances Secret Temptation of the Banderas perfume brand. In general, Banderas is actively involved in the business. Since 1997, he has been producing his Antonio Banderas perfume line. There are already 22 fragrances on the market, 13 for men and 9 for women. Antonio personally gets consulted by perfumers and learns the skill of creating new fragrances from them. In addition, since 2009, the actor has been the owner of a vineyard in Spain. He owns 50% of the Anta Banderas winery in Villalba de Duero, which was originally called Anta Bodegas, and produced up to 1.5 million bottles of wine a year, as well as olive oil. Previously, Banderas was the owner of the Posada de Antonio restaurants, but he gave up this business. Also in 2010, he owned the Jack and Jones by Antonio Banderas team that competed in MotoGP motorcycle races in the Moto2 class. Banderas now supports the Malaga Football Club and the Spanish Socialist Workers' Party. Also, the actor is involved in charity work and is a UN Goodwill Ambassador. In 2019, he opened a new theater in his hometown, which is designed to seat more than 800 people. Antonio Banderas also owns various properties. During his marriage to Melanie Griffith, he owned a mansion in the elite historic Los Angeles area of Hancock Park. They originally purchased the mansion for $4.2 million in 1999, then bought the adjacent plot for $1.3 million and included it in the estate. The interior of the mansion is designed in a classical style. During the divorce, the estate was put up for sale, and just 10 days later it was sold for $16 million. Melanie Griffith got the house in Aspen after the divorce. Located in the mountains, the house is filled with light and comfort. Large panoramic windows, an abundance of wood trim, and decorative details make the rooms lively and comfortable. At first, the ex-spouses planned to sell the house for $10 million. Then they leased it, and in the end, they only got $4 million. During the divorce process, Antonio bought out a stake in their New York apartment from Griffith for $4 million. The apartment with the elegant interior is located in a prestigious building. In 2018, the actor put the apartment up for sale, asking for $8 million. In 2014, it was reported that the actor had purchased a penthouse in Malaga. It is said that in the vicinity of Malaga, Torremolinos, and Benalmádena alone, the actor acquired 7 houses and 14 non-residential properties, including a seaport bar and restaurant. It is known that in 2008, the authorities ordered Banderas to demolish part of the estate called the Seagull, located in Marbella, since the house was built by the former owners without obtaining permits. The actor initiated a legal battle. Banderas now lives in England in a mansion in the county of Surrey. The new acquisition cost him 3.1 million euros. The house has huge windows and beam ceilings. It is filled with light, and the actor simply adores the place. He even rides his bicycle in the forest and the surrounding areas. By the way, in the Banderas fleet, besides a bicycle, we can find a Bentley Continental Supersports, Porsche 911, Cabriolet, Audi A7, and even a private jet. What made Antonio Banderas so successful? What do you think? If you like this video, leave a like and also subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss anything interesting.